It's quite impressive to see a show like Yellowstone succeed, so much so that an entire franchise has been spawned off this very popular Western show, which I, at this point, have said many times, I am so grateful that I'm now a fan of the Yellowstone. It's really a well-crafted show, and in comparison to many other types of entertainment fare that I've watched, I've not had the experience, or I have, but it's been very seldom, where I've watched the show, and I've just been like, this is the type of artistic entertainment that I've been missing in my life. I follow, again, as I've said before, and I've given this spiel, I'll try to give a condensed summary of it. There's a lot of fare that I watch as a self-positioned entertainment commenter. A lot of the streaming fare that I've seen has very mixed quality. Some shows fare very well, others not so much. Every studio is trying to get involved in this space because it's really where content is going. And you see shows that might reflect that pursuit of quantity over quality, or that mindset of quality over quantity. Again, it can vary quite a bit. And some of the shows I've watched might register a little more as homework. Yellowstone didn't. And that's what really brought me in, was not just even my own experience, which I had a great time catching up with it, but the fan experience overall. I heard nonstop regard over Yellowstone for pretty much everybody that had seen it. And I saw the ratings report as well, that image on Wikipedia of the spike as of season 4. And I haven't seen an increase like that among many shows. I haven't seen yet what season 5 is going to be. I need to renew my Peacock subscription. That's why I haven't seen season 5 yet. I need to get back on board, but I've been very excited. But soon after, I saw those, I started hearing a lot of regard. I'm like, I need to test this show, right? Everyone's talking about Yellowstone. I haven't seen it yet. There's only 4 seasons. It's, 10 episodes, 9 per season. Not that much to get caught up on. I binged my way through it, immediately. It only took me a couple days to get up to the end of season 4. And I was captivated the entire time. An enthralling show, a very dynamic world. And the Western scene is just not, I didn't think it'd be able to compete as much as maybe other principal Hollywood shows. And yet Yellowstone has. Its cast speaks a lot to its credits, but the overall scope of the show, its original feeling, the talent involved, Taylor Sheridan's vision and his writing, it's an excellently crafted show. And I'm sure maybe some of you are like, oh, here's another guy talking about this show I need to go watch. I highly recommend it. Be wary of that TVMA rating. Some people might be like, oh, it's a more, and I went into it with mindset, I've spoken about it before, but it's a more, I heard it from the standpoint of it being described as a conservative show. Maybe not necessarily in what people would attribute normally with politics, but of taste. I attributed that to content. Keep that MA rating in mind. There is some adult fare, so it's not a family watch, but if you can get past that, it's minor in presence, you will be very impressed. It's a captivating show, very original to what's on the streaming landscape today, and I highly favor Yellowstone as entertainment. It's a high quality, high caliber experience in itself that I do not regret in any way catching up on. And I've had that feeling among other pictures that are connected. 1883, for example, which I still have yet to finish. I'm working my way through it. But 1923 is coming. And this one I've been, or at this point, maybe it's already aired. I forget the release date of this. December 18th. Yeah, it started. I haven't looked at it yet. I'm a bit behind in coverage in case you haven't noticed at this point. I'm very happy with seeing the Yellowstone world expand. I'm sure Paramount is too. They need to have franchises that are sustainable. And many people have been talking about some of their franchises that aren't facing this level of strain, but others have. Yellowstone is one of them. And 1923, out of the group, I've been the most excited for in terms of a new appearance. There's another spinoff happening with the Four Sixes. That's, I believe, set in present day. That's following the Jimmy storyline of a Yellowstone show, but this is set in the past as 1883 was. And I think it is isolated. You don't have to be watching Yellowstone to watch this show, but it is, of course, probably recommended by me. That's what helped with 1883 as well. But this show, I'm a little more enchanted by than I was of 1883, as good as that show is. Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren are in this. Easily attractable talents. And the first look for it, setting it back into the 20s in historical America, I love going back into this time period and seeing a show that's so well crafted and well presented. It's a very dynamic piece of entertainment that this type of journey that I had of Yellowstone, it's very similar and adjacent to 1923. It's a feeling that's been existent over much of Taylor Sheridan's media, much of which I have yet to cover on the channel, but I'm very excited to. And to give his entertainment more of a deep lens here, the guy is just, he's an incredibly talented writer and a visionary. And I don't use that word too often. I'm very happy with the Yellowstone brand. And I'm even more excited going into this in 1923. It's not just Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren that are popping onto this series, but I did read very recently, although I don't know how extensive his role is, Timothy Dalton's also in this. More than happy there. Let's take a look and see 1923 materialize. And again, some of you I'm sure have already started watching the series. I've wanted to finish covering it to be fair, and again, to also help promote Yellowstone or Yellowstone adjacent properties for those of you who've yet to watch it. Again, like I've said, you will thank me. That's the experience that I had, and you will not regret it. Should you choose to go down the Yellowstone path, I'm sure you'll find it incredibly satisfying. But let's see 1923 materialize in greater vision. I'm very excited though to watch this series. Again, the talents that this is boasting, but the Yellowstone familiarity and the connection to like past eras that the 1883 had, but in a different set of years. I'm really geared for.
You'd be Mrs. Dutton.
I would.
Seems we're neighbors. I've acquired the Strafford Ranch.
Well, this is the Yellowstone, and you have no rights here.
Jacob, you can't.
Where's Timothy Dalton on that list?
Range war's already started.
How much land do you want?
I want the whole valley.
Either we take
The power play that's existent within Yellowstone. Different characters, different focus, of course.
With a bullet or a noose.
Similar feeling.
The fight is with me, and I kill much slower.
This is absolutely wild.
This is going to be such a scenic show. Just like Yellowstone. Rolling 20s, I'm very happy with what I'm seeing.
Tell the world what happens when they cross me.
Greed will be the thing that kills us all.
But there really is a distinct Fred.
Is she on the rainwater? Come with me.
You're no god, Jacob Dutton!
You attack my family. It's gonna be the last thing you ever do.
I'm geared for it. Same feeling. Same feeling, just like Yellowstone. And I've also said this in the past, again, it's a bit of a side point. I wonder for those of us who perhaps, again, the Western genre certainly feels like it's really making a mainstay now. And there's been other types of entertainment that I've seen follow this path. I mean, there's from Quiver Distribution, I forget the name of the movie, Christoph Waltz and Willem Dafoe were in it. Dead for a Dollar is the name of it. I covered it a while ago. There's like that project. Emily Blunt has her Amazon series, The English. I have to finish looking at that too. There's a new trailer for that as we speak. And then, of course, the Yellowstone series. I think there's maybe a couple others that perhaps I'm forgetting about. There's also the Indiana Jones movie. And I do wonder, because of Harrison Ford's presence here, if this show, based on the rumors I've heard, again, not to go on too much of a tangent on this, but a lot of the rumors that seemingly have been verified about the state of Indiana Jones in that new iteration. I wonder if this will pose as a nice escape. Not that Disney would love that. Like, oh, everybody's ditching Disney for Paramount. I mean, talk about a claim to fame for the latter. But Yellowstone as a brand, I think, has that strength and that prominence and that expected high quality of vision that for dissuaded fans of myself with the Indiana Jones property and the rumors that seemingly are true. Seeing Harrison Ford in a adjacent role treated with a little more respect and dignity might be a nice escape and might be not an intended path, but a nice detour that 1923 allows us to embark on should that be, and things can change. Specifically with Indiana Jones. Should the state of that brand be disheveled, 1923 might be a nice escape. And certainly for fans like myself, and it's also, got the bragging rights of, hey, you don't have to watch Yellowstone to follow the series. It helps, and you'll certainly enjoy it more, but it is, like 1883, I believe, contained. And you can watch these split apart, if you so choose. But again, I would highly recommend Even though maybe I'm doing this out of order. Maybe I should be watching 1883. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll finish that series prior to watching this. But watching the principal show helps because it sets you in that world. And there are connections here to the Dutton Ranch. That's right in line if you're not familiar with the Yellowstone show. But I highly recommend if you're going to go down the Yellowstone path, you start with the principal show and then perhaps work out to the spinoffs. And I'm sure you'll watch this one eventually. I mean, who won't? Harrison Ford's in this. Helen Mirren. Timothy Dalton. I mean, the credits alone are like... They speak for themselves. And the quality of the show itself and the execution, again, beautiful nature shots, which the Yellowstone series is so scenic, but then saying this in the Roaring 20s, the set designs, oh, this is going to be so much fun. I'm really happy with what I'm seeing with this show. It looks like it's beautifully materialized. The political and power unrest that's present within Yellowstone is told perhaps in a very similar fashion, but to different contexts, more specialized to the show in specific focus. But I'm just so happy with the Yellowstone brand. Again, like I said, I'm so happy I put myself on that path. I don't regret it in any way. And you won't either if you haven't embarked on it yet. You will thank me, as I'm sure you will when you watch this series, like I will be. I'm looking forward to 1923 quite a bit. It's a beautiful show. It's the same feeling I experience every time I cover Taylor Sheridan or watch his stuff. And again, like I said, I have a lot of projects to look at from him, and I will in the future. This guy is a talent worth watching. A visionary. Again, like I said, I don't use that word lightly. What are your guys' thoughts of 1923, though? And, what angle do you come from? Are you somebody who's followed the Yellowstone brand, or are you somebody that's listening to me being like, here's another person talking about Yellowstone? What are your considerations? And does this make you want to watch the original show? Does this make you want to watch 1923? I would believe it does. And maybe, like I said, I'm probably one of the only people to bring up the Indiana Jones line. Not to brag. I just see it as a possibility. How do you feel? Do you agree with me that perhaps this could be an inadvertent and unplanned escape? But one that Disney wouldn't be too happy about. Should we like to go, hey, you failed with Harrison Ford in the Western era, and, Paramount succeeded, so we'll hop on over there. I find it funny, but Paramount deserves credit where credit is due, especially as they have franchises that they're trying to establish as prominent brands. Maybe aside from some of their less than successful endeavors, Yellowstone is a major release for them. It is a high capital property that they're obviously, especially down the Taylor Sheridan route, they're going all in. And Yellowstone deserves that. It's such a beautifully crafted show, but the spinoff, following right in spirit, is a beautiful, what's the word I'm looking for? Contained project in itself. It's its own thing. But it has that Yellowstone energy that fans appreciate. And the talents to certainly speak to its credits. I'm more than game. I've been excited to watch the show ever since I heard about Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren coming into the Yellowstone story. That's easy game for me. Timothy Dalton, even better. I can't wait to watch this for myself, though. The show's execution looks beautiful. And in the presence of Westerns, like I said, I did not think this would be such a mainstay draw for me amid the streaming fare these days. But Yellowstone subverted my expectations in a good way. Thank you so much for watching this video. Before you bounce, feel free to drop a like and comment, subscribe to this channel with a ding on the bell, and share this video with your friends. And consider checking out the description here. There you'll find links to my other channels, as well as addresses to my other social media accounts and ways you can help support my work if you feel so inclined. May God bless you, and looking forward to when our paths cross again.